Hey everyone, my name's Levi. I couldn't find any information on this online, so this will be kind of an introduction video of what I'm doing here. So I bought a 79 F250 single cab long box pickup, and it had the 400 with C6 tranny, and I drove it a total of 5 miles and realized I had a blown head gasket. So I tore it all apart and realized that the engine was shot. So here we are now. So I decided I was going to come and swap it. And so this is my 1981 Ford Bronco that I swapped Dana 60 axles under and put King shocks on it. And this is all from Desolate Motorsports. And if you want some more information about that, let me know. Usually this thing's cruising on 37s, but I have those on my truck right now. But back to this. So this is a 2010 crew cab short box power stroke frame. I'm going to be swapping a Fummins engine in here with an Allison tranny with the 79 cab. Okay guys, I'm gonna walk you through kind of how I got all the measurements to make this cab swap work here. So the starting point would be your back bed bolts here. Those match up exactly with the back bed bolts on this 2010 frame. So that was pretty much starting position right there. So after that, it's all measurements forward. So then you have to compare your wheelbase on the 2010 compared to the 1979 wheelbase, subtract your difference, and then there's this nice flat spot on these 2010 Power Stroke frames. So I did a Z cut on it and took approximately 24 inches out of this thing. And then the scrap piece of frame, I just gusseted it on the inside here with cutting these circles in here. And you can kind of see where the weld is there. So I made sure that those circles were cut around, so I was welding around that weld there. So that's about as solid as you can get that without doing an external gusset as well. So then it was on to finding out what is level, because you cannot just level this flat section of the frame and call that good. So what I did was I just called the bottom of the bed here, I called level. So you measure down here, like right here, you measure that, and then you come up here and you measure this one. Because this would be too far forward, at least on this frame, because it was originally a short box. So I wrote down those measurements here. It's like 2 1/4 on the back, and it was 3 1/8 right here. So then you set up your laser, and what I did was I just got these, and I put a line on them, like so. And so that measures 3 1/8 from here to here. And I put that line there, and then I did the same thing on the back here. And then I just moved this frame around until that laser lined up both of those marks, okay? And then after that, so after this side here would be level, right? Then after that, you level it this, like front to back this way, or side to side, I guess. So then you just go ahead and figure out your distances here. So all of the rails on the bottom of this bed line up perfectly with where all of the rails were on the 2010. God bless Ford for that. So, yeah. Okay, so enough with the bed. Let's move on to these custom brackets here. With this being a short bed, I had to weld these up here. These are to support that very front bed rail on there. So that was just, I mean, it's going to be different for every situation. So for these, I just kept the laser set up at level and measured down, and then figured out my height on this. So pretty much you just figure out what this angle is, tack weld this on, and then you skinny wheel out. This is just normal 2x4 tube steel. So I just had my laser shining here, so I knew exactly where to cut this, and then I welded this flat spot on here. Okay, and you're gonna want to use your existing frame to get all your measurements for heights for your cab mounts. I had cut all of the factory cab mounts off of this thing, so I got all those heights written down, and I'll share a photo of that probably in the comments or something, so you guys can kind of see how I did that. So anyways, this is a custom bracket I did for the back mounts on the cab. And that actually ended up working out perfectly. And then for these ones, these are a little bit more tricky. It's harder to get your measurements. These are the front cab mounts. So that's where the existing 2010 Power Stroke cab mount was. And then this is the new one. So pretty much for those, you know your height, so then you're using your laser for your height, and transferring that to the other side with it being lower than the frame is just a little bit tricky, but if you're attempting a project like this, you better be able to figure that out on your own. But anyways, you just figure out your width, and then you just pretty much make sure that your hole here is the same measurement from the frame on both sides. And then this part up here is your radiator support. That's these. So those are at the correct height, correct width and everything right now. And I'm still not 100% sure on how I'm gonna finish this up right here, where this factory Ford frame swoops way down. I might end up cutting it off over here. We'll see. I'll probably end up doing a move bumper like this. These are like a DIY weld it yourself style bumper, so that way I can make my own bumper mounts for this, because no bumper you buy is gonna work for that. So